originally I was going to welcome you to Toronto, to Canada, because it's great that international musicians are attracted to kind of music celebration like this one, but you've been to Toronto before. What is it about the Toronto music scene that brings you back?
I just love it. It's the live scene here has been really good. There's just a really cool vibe out there. We've seen it in most band venues. Last time we came for Indie Week in 2013. We played 3 shows, and we played the Cave, the Bovine, and the Hideout. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So it was really, really good.
Great venues. I mean,
fantastic!
Yeah.
Especially the Hideout show went really well, and the Bovine.
Fantastic. Definitely, Toronto's glad to have you back, and definitely a great experience, a great vibe when it's a whole week-long celebration, well, 10-day long, I should say, Canadian Music Week, and you're back for that. What was the draw to return for Canadian Music Week then?
It was to come back here, but also to come back with doing something slightly different, which was Canadian Music Week, and there's a lot more attached to it, not just the music, and there's a music summit. There's also a focus on the Australian artists as well, with Sounds Australia playing a big role in this. So and we love the city, and that's the reality of it. I just love it. So that's why we've come back. Didn't hesitate at all.
Awesome. And you got the chance, you took it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I know, as you said, with Sounds Australia, there is a great Australian presence here. Have you kind of met up with anyone that you know from Australia? Any other artists, bands?
Yeah, we have. We had a what they call like a VIP event yesterday at the hotel there, the main hotel where they're hosting the Canadian Music Week. So we were there with some delegates, some other Australian artists. Yeah. So we got to see a few of them, which is good because we're not all from the same state. But it was also good to see a couple of other people from Melbourne. So.
But I definitely like your energy that you bring to the stage. It's definitely something different, you know. How do you describe your genre of music? I mean, it's you, and how many band members do you have? King George.
There's another 3. Okay. The drummer Michael, who couldn't make it here, he's been part of King George since we've started it for about 4 years ago. Okay. And Chris Wyatt has just joined. He joined a couple of years ago on guitar, and we've also had Andrew and Jesse join us on bass and drums for this. So there's a sort of network of musicians that I've been getting involved with for King George. So it's a little bit of a revolving door, but a sort of small network of musicians that I've worked with, and I've loved every minute of it because everyone I've worked with has been fantastic. Yeah. It is hard sometimes as a songwriter. You know, you put your song together, and you really need to have the right people around to get the songs where it needs to be, the dynamics. So yeah. As for the style, it's been described like a Killers meets Muse kind of feel. It's not as heavy, but there's some energy there, but with a lot of emotion. Okay. The songs, especially in the new album, are driven a lot around emotion and feelings and stuff like that.
Yeah. So would you consider, you said Killers and Muse, I believe, but would you consider them to be kind of influences of King George Band?
More so the Killers, Muse a little bit, because but I guess you get influenced by people you don't always have to be a fan of. Yeah. You just, you hear it and you take it all in. Sure. But I've been a fan. I'm a fan of a wide range of music, from the Killers, Metallica, the Pet Shop Boys, Depeche Mode, U2, some of the heavier bands earlier on, like a Pantera and all that. So I love all the styles. If I go to a show, no matter who it is, I just take it all in. And also a very big fan of Lana Del Rey. Got a bit of a crush on her.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Lana, if you're listening, okay.
She here this week?
I don't believe so, but she might just be. And I know that they've had quite a number. I love the celebration of kind of underground musicians, but they've had big names here too. I mean, Jessie J was here last night, I think, even.
I think
yeah. So it's a great like kind of all-encompassing festival.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now. going a little bit back to your music as well, I know your debut in 2010, your debut album, Prisoners of the of the Pluto Junction, did really well, kind of got you started, and it was 4 years in the making for your sophomore album, for your follow-up album. What went into it that took such a long time to refine it?
The follow-up album, it kind of took 2 years of putting it together, like almost on and off. It's an album though that you got to get the right songs that come your way to try and piece an album together. So I thought initially it wouldn't have been an album. Like I released a couple of songs before the album was finished. So there was like Why Am I Here and Hover, but the album sort of just built itself in a way. But the theme there is very similar, with the Love Songs and Medications, which is the new album. There's a lot of themes in there about love and friendship, trust, ambition, temptation, and stuff like that. So, so it was a while in the making, but I think it was worthwhile the wait.
Absolutely, and certainly is being very, very well received. But in terms of that sense too, how do you see from your debut album to this one? What do you see as the biggest difference, the biggest change? How have you kind of adapted your sound?
I think the sound has, I guess, the sound is still a little similar, but I think the dynamics have lifted slightly, and hopefully. I think the songwriting, I've developed a little bit better over the years, and sort of learned off a lot of other people as well and how they put songs together and that. But I think I've put a lot more effort in the sound as well. So and the sound engineer Malcolm Besley in Melbourne, he produced the first album, and he knows exactly what I want. But he's also very good to control me in the studio about not going too far and overdoing things, so I tend to lose a bit of overdo it.
Yeah, absolutely. So sometimes in lots of professions, you overthink things, you overdo it, and then it ends up not making it better. It ends up kind of having a negative impact.
Sometimes a sound engineer or a producer, you've got to have the relationship where you can actually be really honest. Yeah. And at times he's just said, like, okay, that's enough takes. Let's leave it. Yeah. Let's just leave it and move on. So
sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's great that you have that kind of rapport with your producer, right? Yeah. I know that your music videos have really gone over well, and I mean you're going to the Hollywood Music in Media Arts, right? You've been nominated right?
last year for for Hover. Yeah, it was good. We didn't actually go because to go for the awards all the way from Australia was difficult, but it was good to be recognised. I think there's a little bit more recognition outside of Australia for King George than inside over there. So it was really good. We also have had recognition in the Australian Independent Music Video Awards as well for Hover, and the other video, Broken Hearted Whispers, was nominated as well last year. So been working with an Australian director, Dylan Pearce.
Okay.
Again, I've formed a really good relationship with him, so he sort of knows what I want, but he also interprets the songs his own way.
Yeah.
And he just puts it out there and has a concept, and off we go. So It's been good.
Yeah. And I know you've played in terms of other locales in the States. You've played New York before, and I mean, how is that going well in terms of your presence in the States?
Yeah, there's been independent radio has picked up a few things, which is good. I'd really love to do a proper tour of America. It'd be really, really good. It'd be a dream. Also, maybe through Canada and down to the US. So I think it'll be an area that we'll continue to focus on, as long as people are still interested. America I love it. Yeah, I love that.
Excellent.
I love
Yeah,
it.
do a nice, nice big long North American tour encompassing Canada and the States. That'd be
Come
great.
back and I'll visit you.
Exactly, and then we can do a follow-up interview. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I really appreciate that. And then I promise to make this one a little bit later in the day, so so we won't have to interview. Yeah, so we don't have to interfere with sleep. You see, you don't get a lot of it as it is. But in the meantime, though, you're here. You're up in Canada, up in Toronto. Tell me where you're going to be playing during Canadian Music Week and what you're looking forward to. What we can kind of expect from King George.
Well, we're playing at the Underground Garage at Friday night, tonight, and it's a great venue. It kind of reminds me of a couple of other venues around here as well as in Melbourne. So, like, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. We've managed to see a few other bands from Canada as well, which is really good. Even a few touristy things as well, like going to see the baseball and stuff like that, which is really exciting. I've never seen a baseball game before. So basically that's been really good.
All right. And just tell me a little bit. I'd like to hear more about your excursions across the city, but I mean, just tell me what we can expect from your set tonight at the Underground Garage in Toronto.
Tonight, we're going to play a set. We're going to mix it up a little bit, play some of the heavier tunes as well as the sort of more commercial, softer tunes, the more emotional ones. So we've put a set together that's got a lot of energy and a lot of emotion. And yeah, we're just going to really rock it out and have fun. That's what we're here to do.
Absolutely.
And so we really can't wait to get on stage, because that's what we're here to do.
Absolutely.
It's what we live for.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's your passion, and you get on stage and you let loose. Right?
That's it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for this time. Really appreciate it, George. Best of luck tonight. Can't wait to see your show and get my first King George Band experience. So, all the best. Good luck.
Thank you.